Round one of this World Cup is officially in the books. And bro, if this is just the appetizer, I genuinely don't know if my heart can handle the main course. We went from Cape Verde holding mighty Spain to a goalless draw, to Messi dropping a hat trick at 38 like he's got a cheat code, to Australia literally upsetting Turkey, to Portugal getting held by DR Congo. This wasn't a settling in round. This was the football gods saying, now we're doing chaos mode from minute one. Now, if we're talking about who actually cooked up the blueprint this round, you gotta give it up to the African sides because they didn't just show up, they showed out. 5 African teams have already scored points, and there's a real shot that roughly 20% of the knockout teams could end up being from the continent, which is absolutely not the script anybody had written, especially after only 5 African teams made the round of 16 across the last 4 World Cups combined. That's the tactics conversation right there. Disciplined low blocks, fast transitions, zero fear factor against the bigger nations. But if we're talking prime status for an individual, it's Messi, no debate, case closed. The man dropped his first ever World Cup hat trick at 38 years old, tied an all-time scoring record that stood since 2014, and still found a way to make it about the team and not himself afterward. That's not just being in form, that's being a problem for an entire era of football at once. On the flip side, though, not everybody had a fun round one. And NGL, it's giving major reality check vibes for a couple of regions. Asian teams that drew a ton of early hype ended up with only 2 wins, 4 draws, and 3 losses across the board, with just South Korea and Australia actually picking up wins. That's a rough start when the conversation going in was about a rising continent. And now it's looking more like a prove it in match day 2 situation instead of a coronation. Zooming all the way out, this round basically reset every single prediction we made before the tournament started. Groups that looked like guaranteed easy passage are now wide open. Traditional powerhouses are already feeling pressure with zero margin for error, and the so-called underdogs are out here turning into legit threats. With the new format letting 32 teams advance instead of 16, every single point from round 1 is going to matter way more than usual, which means match day 2 isn't just more football, it's basically do or die energy for half the teams in this tournament already. Buckle up, because if round 1 was this unhinged, round 2 might actually break the internet.